Well, good morning, Jagender Rana here. The topic for our discussion today is both to blame collision clause. Both to blame collision clause. This clause, called as both to blame collision clause, is appearing in the clause 3 of Institute Cargo Clauses, which provides that this insurance is extended to indemnify the assured against such proportion of liability under the contract of affreightment. The both to blame collision clause, as is in respect of a loss recoverable hereunder, in the event of any claim by ship owners, under this said clause, the assured agree to notify the underwriters who shall have the right at their own cost and expenses to defend the assured against such claim. So the both to blame collision clause was first known as TOLUMA. TOLUMA clause because it was introduced following a case in 1935 involving a vessel called Toluma. So under this clause, the assured agree to notify the underwriters who shall have the right at their cost and expenses to defend the assured against such claims to pay contribution demanded by ship owners in the event of a claim. Let's see an example of both to blame collision clause. Where two vessels collide with each other, the maritime law of various countries provides that liability for damages to each other shall be fixed according to the degree of negligence, say 60-40. So since the conditions of bills of lading excuse the ship owners from the consequences of the negligence of the servants, cargo owners of the carrying vessels are not entitled to recover their compensation from the carrying vessel in the event of a collision with the non-carrying vessel according to the one of the conditions of bill of lading. In this situation, they have to approach non-carrying vessel to recover only a portion of their loss corresponding to the degree of blame attaching to the non-carrying vessels. Adjustment of claim. Vessel A. Let's see an example. Vessel A or B were in collision. A was adjusted or A was adjudged 75% to blame and B 25%. So the respective claims of 75% and 25% will be like this. Say damage to vessel A, 3 lakh rupees, to B 2,40,000 rupees. Damage to cargo 30,000 rupees, to B 60,000 rupees. So total vessel A 3,30,000 or total loss to B is 3 lakh. Now here damage to vessel A shows particular average of rupees 3 lakh. Damage to cargo A shows no liability, while damage of B, that is 75% of 3 lakh, it rupees 2,25,000 and 3/4 of this is 168,750. 1/4 is rupees 56,250. So collision is 1,68,750 and PEI is 56,250. Now recovery from B, that is 25% of rupees 3 lakh, is 75,000. Now the question is, claim under hull and machinery policy, how will it be settled? Particular average 2,25,000, collision liability 1,68,750, total of both 3,90,750, deductible 30,000, total liability 3,60,750. That is the way how this liability shall be settled. Now, according to United States law, and this law would be applicable or applied to ships of nationality if the action was in the USA. So the position is not the same. Liability of the non-carrying vessel is not limited corresponding to the degree of blame attaching to the non-carrying vessels. That means in the United States the position is not the same. There the liability of the non-carrying vessel is not limited corresponding to the degree of blame attaching to the non-carrying vessels. So irrespective of the degree of blame, which may be differing degrees, the measure of liability is determined as if both vessels were equally to blame and the cargo of each carrying vessel can recover its full damage from the other vessel despite the fact that the non-carrying vessel was only party or partly to blame for the collision giving rise to the damage. So the non-carrying vessel which pays the cargo damages in full may recover 1/2, that is 50%, from the carrying vessel in the settlement between ship and ship. So it will therefore be seen that the carrying vessel is debited with 50% of its own cargo damage. Although the conditions of bill of lading will prevent the cargo interest to recover the amount of loss direct from the carrying vessel. So the hull insurer of the carrying vessel are not liable for this amount as a collision liability, and this amount is not recoverable from the P&I club also in which the vessel is entered. As such, the ship owners of the carrying vessel claim an indemnity from the cargo owner who has recovered his damage in full from the non-carrying vessel. So in turn recovers 50% from the carrying ship. That means, considering the law of the United States, one could therefore appreciate the significance of the both to blame collision clause. So this is something very important to understand, that both